everybody is just really going for it. Oh!
Hi, I hope everybody's been enjoying this series so far on the perfect downstroke. Now we're going to get into another way to look at the perfect downstroke and upstroke. This is what happens if you don't have space, if you don't hold on to the stick right here and you allow space to form by letting go with your fingers. So if there's space here and you're staying relaxed, what'll happen when you hit the drum is the stick will bounce back up. So if I play here, you can see my fingers are not holding the stick down, and they're allowing the stick to jump up and bounce off of the surface of the head above our goal height. Whenever you play a downstroke, you want the stick to go down, hit the drum, and only rebound to the height of the next note that you're playing. And if you're doing a downstroke, the next note should be a tap, so the stick should only rebound this high. However much wiggle room you create in the back of your hand. When I say wiggle room, I'm referring to the space between the pinky and the fleshy part of your palm. The amount of space that the stick has to move in that area is how high your stick will rebound to. So the farther your fingers are off the stick, the higher the stick will be able to rebound off of the drum. And the more firm your back fingers are around the stick, the less wiggle room there will be for the stick to rebound off of the drum, and the lower the stick will go. Now, if you get rid of that wiggle room by squeezing, you will cause tension in your grip. So the only way to do this successfully is to never have any wiggle room at all. Remember, when you lift up your hand, your fingers naturally curl around the stick anyway. So when you do your upstroke, make sure your fingers are wrapped around the stick, and then when you bring it down, keep them there, and the stick will only bounce so far off of the drum, allowing you to execute a tap on the next note. So I lift up my hand, I keep my fingers curled around the stick, I execute my downstroke without letting go, and now I'm ready to play a tap, which I execute with my wrist again. After the tap, I immediately lift back up for the next note, and at that point, my fingers should naturally want to curl around the stick further. They should already be curled around the stick, but this is going to actually, your physiology is going to help you to stay curled around the stick as long as you're relaxed. And then when you bring it down, you make sure your fingers are gentle but firm like a baby bird around the stick, and you repeat. The only way to get good at this motion is to do it extremely slowly. And what I would actually do is just do an individual stroke and then evaluate if you did it the correct way. And then the upstroke, of course. Did I keep my fingers curled around the stick and hold on with my back fingers without squeezing? Did I turn my wrist and keep my fingers on the back of the stick without squeezing? Did I turn my wrist and then lift up to the top while holding on with my back fingers without squeezing, etc. The key is to make sure that you're always holding on without ever squeezing the stick in any way, shape, or form. So go ahead and practice bucks extremely slow, where it's actually not even in time, but it's just individual strokes. Play a stroke, evaluate how you did. Play another stroke, evaluate how you did. And once you're feeling really confident that all your strokes are being executed correctly, then you go at an extremely slow tempo in time until you become consistent at that. And then you go ahead and do it with gradually increasing the tempo of the metronome until you're up to speed.